Thank you so much, sir. Congratulations to you and the entire team at Bharti Airtel. Congratulations. Our next award celebrates a leader who has mastered a rare art in public life, winning over big business not through rhetoric, but through speed, structure, and delivery. With over 10.7 lakh crore in investments flowing into Andhra Pradesh just over the last 18 months, and with major projects already under implementation, his leadership has made the state's economic ambition feel both credible and immediate, and reaffirmed his reputation as the original CEO-CM. The Economic Times Award for Business Reformer of the Year goes to the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Shri N. Chandrababu Naidu.
In Andhra Pradesh, governance has become a competitive advantage. Few leaders have turned governance into a growth engine quite like N. Chandrababu Naidu, whose policies have powered the state's transformation into a premier global investment destination. Operating as the original CEO Chief Minister, he has brought a new, tech-based rigor to governance. In just 18 months, his sector-specific policies have secured 10.7 lakh crore rupees in approved investments, including landmark projects such as a $15 billion data center cluster by Google and India's largest greenfield steel plant. Renowned as an early proponent of IT, who established Hyderabad as a tech hub, his vision for creating new cities continues with the development of Amaravati. Today, the same vision ensures that immense economic growth directly cross-subsidizes crucial welfare schemes for the underprivileged. N. Chandrababu Naidu is presented the Economic Times Business Reformer of the Year award for his bold policies and relentless drive to transform lives through enterprise.
Congratulations, sir. Ma'am, I will request you to please present the award. Congratulations, sir. We're going to request you to please be seated with us on stage. Thank you. And now I'd like to invite on stage the Honorable CM of Andhra Pradesh, Shri N. Chandrababu Naidu, to please join ma'am on stage as we are about to step into the next segment of the evening. Thank you for once again approaching the stage, sir. Thank you. Well, thank you both so much for being here. And with that, I'd like to take a moment here to invite a valued partner on stage to address us this evening. So please welcome the CEO, Deloitte South Asia, Mr. Romal Shetty, to please grace the stage and say a few words.
Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharamanji, Honorable Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu Garu, distinguished leaders of India Inc., ladies and gentlemen, good evening. When I look around this room, I don't just see leaders of India Inc. I see the people who will decide how India shows up in the world over the next 25 years. It's a privilege to stand before you, the authors of India's next chapter. India has navigated a world that has moved from one crisis to another, from the COVID pandemic to Russia-Ukraine conflict to Gaza and now Iran. Through each phase, India has shown resilience anchored in a strong macroeconomic foundation and an increasingly anti-fragile structure. And yet, the environment we are operating in is becoming more demanding by the day. Risks have multiplied. Single-source dependencies, opaque data infrastructure, and cyber risks. Institutions built for a stable world that no longer exists. The disruption is structural. It will not reverse. The question is not whether disruption comes, it's how fast you respond, how fast you recover, how decisively you respond, and whether you're built to thrive. India did not just get lucky. The world got complicated. We were ready. India has no longer participated in the global tech wave. We're shaping it from quantum to semiconductors to AI. Innovation is converging at scale. Our work with Niti Aayog is focused on building open, shared foundations, enabling India not just to adopt deep tech, but to industrialize it with trust and interoperability. We're also seeing audacious leadership at the state level. Leaders like Mr. Naidu have demonstrated what it means to act with intent, opening up ecosystems, attracting investment, and building technology-led governance models. These are not accidents. They are choices. Choices that reflect conviction in India's future and a willingness to act ahead of the curve. India is building its own stack. That is the difference between dependency and sovereignty. That brings me to something that demands more honest attention. India's individual adoption of AI is ahead of many developed nations. At the same time, corporate adoption is still catching up. There is a visible gap between how Indians use AI personally and how companies deploy it strategically. That gap is both a competitive risk and a leadership responsibility. And beyond the boardroom lies a real opportunity. 490 million informal workers still largely outside the technology revolution. Productivity, credit, skilling, and access remain offline. Our work with the Niti Frontier Tech Hub shows India can democratize technology, not as a product to sell, but as a public good to share. This is where corporate India has a defining role to play. The role is not just an investor, it is the architect of more equitable technology future. India is democratizing technology at a scale no country has attempted, and corporate India must lead that. As we look ahead, two qualities will define what corporates must now aim for. The companies that will define Indian businesses in 2047 are making their fundamental choices right now. Some of them are in this room. The first is the audacity, the willingness to bet on the future before it's obvious. Build capabilities that your current business models don't require and move not when the market forces you to, but before it does. The second is resilience, not the resilience of endurance, but one that is rooted in transformation. Embedding technology so deeply that every disruption becomes a door, not a wall. This resilience is built through technology, not despite it. Disruption tests character. What we're celebrating tonight is not just performance, it's the character of Indian enterprise. As we move towards Viksit Bharat 2047, we must understand that the journey is not a government promise, it is a private sector assignment. The awards recognize what has been built so far, but what comes next is the real test. Congratulations to all the winners and to everyone in the room who continue to build, shape, and lead India's future. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Romal. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, on to the heart of the evening. Over the years, the Economic Times Awards for Corporate Excellence have come to stand for something rare. Not merely success, not merely scale, but leadership, judgment, resilience, and vision that leaves a mark on business and often on the country itself. And before we begin tonight's honors, a special acknowledgement to this year's distinguished jury, whose rigor, wisdom, and discretion helped upload everything these awards stand for. So our sincere thanks to Jury Chair Sunil Bharti Mittal, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, Devi Shetty, Lalit Keshre, Noel Tata, Priya Nair, Roshni Nadar Malhotra, Sajjan Jindal, and Uday Kotak. Could we have a huge round of applause for our wonderful jury? At their best, these awards do more than simply recognize achievement. They recognize the rare combination of vision, resolve, and institution building that leaves an imprint not only on industry, but on the larger story of India's growth. So tonight, we'll recognize those who have done exactly that. So without further ado, let us begin the 26th edition of the Economic Times Awards for Corporate Excellence. I request Honorable Finance Minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman to kindly present our first set of awards this evening. Our first honoree this evening helped change behavior at scale. As young Indians grew